All right, welcome back. It's been a while since I did a video. I'm going to share my latest project, the Eflight 90mm Viper jet. They really got it together on this one. My last Eflight experience with the Havoc wasn't too good, but I tell you what, they really got it turned around on this one. Parts fit beautifully. The nylon parts are really made nicely, and they really did their homework. It looks like a really nice model. The people that I've been watching them fly it, looks like it flies really good. So I'm converting this one to a turbine with an X45. I'm using my current go-to tank. It fit really, really well. This is the tank that I use on the Avante, shoot, I can't even think of it now, the T45 and the A4, and just about a stroke of luck, it really fit well inside this model. That's why I'm doing a video now, because I'm going to be closing up the bottom tonight, and if I don't do it now, I'm going to have to do another one later. So standard X45, I'm using the 2-ounce MAP UAT, built a receiver shelf there, and running the a Castle BEC regulated down to 6 volts to run the flight pack, and I'll be running that with a 2-cell LiPo. Up front, it's working out real well. I plan on putting the batteries up front. Hopefully CG won't be an issue. I don't think it will be. If it will require ballast, I don't think it'll require much. But the tank really fit nice in there. I mean, you look down the inlets, I mean, it looks like it was made for the model. And look at the bottom here. This is what I want to show you, because I'm going to close this up tonight. I did enclose the basically the tunnel they had for the speed controller, because you don't want the elevator and rudder wires falling down in the tailpipe of the turbine. So I enclosed that with some 332nd balsa wood, 2 coats of bi-violet heat shield, and that is the only heat shielding that will be used in this model. I used my standard pipe that I use in all my conversions. This one weighs 3.8 ounces. It works really, really well. No heat shielding required. So it's a lot easier to put in the pipe now before you glue the bottom of the fuselage back on. So let me get it situated here. There we go. So the pipe's going to go right about there. Look, fits really nice in the back. Lots of clearance, good airflow. Don't see any problems with the situation. Turbine, standard X45. I elected to keep, I like to move everything as far forward as possible to keep the tail heaviness to a minimal, because you don't have the heavy EDF battery up front. So the tank is directly on the CG. So then I mount the engine right behind the tank. I use the standard technique that is described in the T33 videos on how to cut the slots for the plywood mounts here. It works out really well. You know, a lot of people cringe on cutting the foam out, but there is no feasible possible way to get this tank in on the CG without doing this. It's not a big deal. I fit it with the carbon paper. You wrap some carbon paper around the fuel tank, just get in there, wiggle it around. Wherever there's ink remaining on the foam, you take out until you get it to the location that you like. And this one worked out really well to where I always have the fuel sitting in the sump here where the clunk lays right here, and the spar fits really, really nice right behind it. I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better. So when I go to bond this back on, which I'll probably do tonight, I'll just lightly brush Gorilla Glue around here on both surfaces, lightly, just dust it with water. We're going to stick it on. The spars are pretty much going to locate it. And then we're going to just kind of watch it so it doesn't expand all over the place. and it should be fine. And, you know, I really didn't compromise the spar. You know, I did cut through the, I kind of call it a, it's the bushing spar that runs through the fuselage. But I did not compromise this at all. You know, I don't see any problems with what I did. And I did elect to, just to make it easier to get the engine in and out, I decided to cut this hatch back a little bit forward. I bonded that onto the aft EDF hatch, and it's just going to make getting the engine out a lot easier. And when you do cut this, you do want to cut it on a slight angle on all three surfaces. That way it just drops in there. If you cut it on a negative angle, you're going to really fight it getting it back in. And then I just made some tabs here. I'll run a couple sheet metal screws in here that'll hold this down. I do plan on enclosing this little cooling vent here, just a little piece of scrap foam, fuel vent here, and so far I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. I think it's going to be a really good flyer. Power should be there. You know, it's a 42-ounce tank. I imagine flight times will be, you know, 8-9+ minutes. You know, a lot of people say, well, 40 ounces is way too much. No one says you got to fill the tank up all the way if you don't want to carry the weight, but this model should carry the weight. It's got a lot of wing area, and I see no problem at all. But all in all, I'm really impressed with the model. They did a really nice job with it. I am going to leave the, I was going to hardwire the wire, or the gear, flap, and aileron with permanent wiring, but I looked at the connectors and they're really, really well made. I don't see any problem. I am going to run the wire for the JP brakes. Probably below that, I'll route out a little bit of area and then have a little connector here. There's plenty of room up in here. So I thought I'd do the video before I close this up. That way everybody can see how I cut it. Tank fits really nice. And I'll get it flying. Should be this weekend. And I'll post a video at the field. Thanks for watching.